So I was thinking back to how some guy was telling me how war is honorable and like I'm like what? Because the U.S. was at war with 7 different countries, and then at the end of 2017, the U.S. started bombing Niger, and I was thinking, that one word that you absolutely cannot say because it's blatantly offensive and racist? The original thing meant you're from Nigeria, which means your skin color is black or ebony. And so this became a racial slur. And obviously, it's a horrible racial slur because, um, ah, it's about the tone, really. It's about the tone. If something has an offensive tone, no matter what word, it's going to become very offensive to use if people are using it as like with a bigoted tone. And so this is now like the worst word in like the English language. English is a funny thing. But the other funny thing is so Nigerians, um, two different countries, Niger and Nigeria, but they share a border. And we're bombing them. So it's like the US just really doesn't like black people. What was the most recent thing? Um I think the most recent thing is like, oh yes. So there's like the homeless shelters aren't always open for some reason. So when they're not and it's freezing cold and people are dying on the streets, this guy lets them in his basement. And now authorities are gonna seize his house because you're preventing homeless people from freezing to death. We're gonna seize your house. So there is definitely discrimination, and it'd be nice if mass murdering, if people just didn't support mass murder. Now, obviously, you're gonna get jailed if you stop supporting mass murder because 50% of your federal tax dollars go directly towards what was that quote? Organized murder. There was a nice quote by someone. War is just organized murder. I don't remember the quote. It was by the last surviving veteran of World War II. Um, it's like really, it's really depressing that if you stop paying your taxes, you'll go to jail. And in the US, there is a slavery jail system where prisons are privatized and you can use prisoners as slaves. And it's usually black people who are targeted for crimes, despite obviously most crimes are committed by white people, but um, despite the widely varying differences between people who commit crimes and people who are arrested for crimes by ethnicity, um, like it makes no sense that most criminals are one skin color, yet most prisoners are another. What? I don't know what the demographics are, but it's like obviously if you're white and you do something bad, you won't get as punished as harshly as if you're black or ebony and um and you're just walking down the street because oh God forbid having a different skin color than the majority. Now yeah, I still don't really understand racism, and throughout high school it like people would say stuff and I'd say like that's racist and they'd be like, no, I'm just joking. But then when I would make a joke, they'd be like, well, that's racist. And I'm like, no, I'm just joking. So it like I guess I think it really I think it's both racist. But if you're murdering people in Niger or you're jailing people for like not doing anything wrong, and if you're forcing people to freeze on the streets, like whatever argument you want to make for that, it's discriminatory. And yeah, like uh, like there are justifications for murder, but I don't think any of them apply to like systemic racism.